Welcome back to another street photography video. We're actually out and about in London today. Before I get started though, I want to thank you for 100 subscribers and 6 videos. I made the channel just a few weeks ago to see what I could do, and you guys seem to really enjoy the channel, so I really appreciate it. Let's continue to grow together. But the reason I'm out today and actually shooting is because the sun came out for at least an hour, and that's better than what we get most weekends, so great, we're out and about. And I thought I'd take you along with me to discuss why I think London is one of the best cities in the world and an almost perfect street photography destination. It's not just me, I'm biased, I live here, but other people don't, and they come from all over the world and say it's their favourite destination ever. Let's start off with the obvious. It's a very big city. You're going to get variation no matter what you shoot, whether you shoot a scene or whether you're shooting primarily subjects. You're going to get a good amount of variation in your photos. Like me, I shoot digital all the time, so I'm spraying and praying all the time. I take 200, 300, 400 shots on an average little couple hours walking around London, but some people can take up to 1,000 shots a day. They're guaranteed to get something, and they're guaranteed, even if you take 50 shots of the same thing, those minor details, you're going to get something. Maybe your subject's different in the scene, or maybe the lighting's hitting the subject slightly differently. You're going to get something better like that. Now, that's much better than smaller cities and smaller towns because you don't get such variation in the people walking through your shot and stuff like that. Not to say that that's always a good thing. Like me, I started when COVID hit, so I like the isolation feel. I like getting a solo subject. So if I've got 50 people walking in my frame, I kind of feel like, I don't really like it. But at the same time, it's, great for those that do like the hustle and bustle and to really capture the city in its element. And you've got other things as well. You've got so many different things. For example, today we went to Horizon 22, which is just a free viewing platform that you can go to on Bishopsgate, and it's massive. It's really high up. You get a massive panoramic view of the city, so if you like architecture, it's great there. But I focused on minimalism photography up there, just getting people surrounded by the windows that are up there. They're like floor to ceiling. That's a massive amount of light in, especially when the sun's shining through. You get cascading shadows on the floor. It works really nicely there. So what have I been focusing on today? Today I've been focusing on reflections mainly, and shadows as and when the sun breaks through the clouds. Reflections are great because the city is basically divided in old and new. You've got the old side of London where the buildings are all textured. You've got lovely old classic buildings, and then you've got the whole new buildings that where the Blitz happened in World War II, the buildings were just rebuilt from there, and you've got massive skyscrapers with massive panes of glass, and you can use those panes of glass to get almost perfect split reflections, and it works really well in your photography. Also, the thing that I was just sitting in, great for framing subjects. You can get these really interesting holes through the thing, and you can frame your subjects pretty well through it. Framing your subjects and giving a bit of definition that way is a great way to improve any image. You can have a really flat image, but say framing a single subject through any one of these holes that are built in this thing, you can create some dimension, create some 3D elements, and it works quite nicely when you're taking images. Here you go, so this is the exact thing that I'm talking about. A pretty average scene of people walking past. Whack it up to a window and you've got a whole new perspective. Capture a solo subject or something there and you'll be well on your way to a good photo. So with London being such a busy city, as I mentioned, there's also varying skyscrapers, towers, small buildings, tall buildings. That varies your shadows when the sun comes out, and that gives great definition if you want to capture someone in a little pool of light. I've done that a lot today, capturing someone in the little light that we do get when the sun does peek between the clouds. It creates a nice little isolation element to the subject, especially if you get someone on their own and everything around it is just dark, gloomy, and you're sort of highlighting the main focus to be on the subject. It looks really cool. I've done it in London a bunch and today, but also in other cities as well, when I can find either artificial light to highlight the subject or sunlight as and when it peeks through the clouds. And because I can see a little bit of blue in the sky, we might as well talk now about the different types of lighting you can use in your photography. There's 3 main types. You've got front lighting, back lighting and side lighting, and I'll explain it with this nice gentleman sitting right in front of me.
So front lighting is where the sun would be behind me, my camera is in the middle where I am now, and my subject is in front of me. That ensures complete even coverage on the subject. You don't get many shadows, everything looks nice and evenly lit. That's great for portraits and other things like that. So if you're a street portrait photographer, great to get front lighting. You really want some nice strong front lighting, and that would create nice even tones all around your subject. Side lighting is something that I use quite a lot, i.e. in these photos. And that would be me being where I am now, the subject being in front of me, or walking left, right, whatever. And the sun will be either 90 degrees or somewhat of a degree and angle to the left or to the right of me, lighting the side of the subject. So that creates texture, definition on the subject, makes it a lot more 3D, gives things a lot more of definition, and you can also create nice light trails as well. And of course you've got backlighting, so if the sun was in front of the subject in front of me and I'm still here and the subject is in the middle, that will backlight the subject. So that's how I get my silhouettes, for example. If I'm silhouetting a subject, I would opt for backlighting because it lights in front of him, it's very contrasty around him, and you can go from there, get really nice silhouettes. Obviously, because it's England, I can't show you that in real world, so you're just going to have to trust me and have a look at these example images that I put on screen now. And also lighting comes to effect with the different heights of the sun as well. So in peak summer, you got really high sun, which shortens your shadows and creates quite harsh lighting environments. And winter, like we are in now, you get longer shadows because the sun doesn't go high up into the sky. So it draws out your shadows a lot more and gives quite a elongated effect with your shadows if you're trying to frame someone within a pool of light. And lastly, let's talk about some people aspect of things. People in London dress the most fancy ways or the most unique ways in any city I've been to. You got people down the same street wearing duster coat, top hat, and then 2 people later you see someone with dreadlocks, fancy outfit. You know, you can get any subject you want in London down the same street. And if you're purely a subject photographer, you'd have a field day. But if you're like me and you like getting a good subject within a scene, that's also good too. Imagine silhouetting someone with a little hat, duster coat, you know, walking down an old alleyway with loads of texture, as I mentioned earlier, with the old buildings. You got a perfect scene there. If you want something modern, someone dressed all like cyberpunky, and you've got a brand new building with stained glass windows or whatever, and you can reflect off of them, so it looks like there's 2 of them. You can get that here too. That's what I mean. London is such a unique spot, and I hope what I've said and the things that you've seen in this video, i.e. the pictures I've taken today, can make you understand why I love shooting in London so much and why I am so privileged to live here and do photography here so frequently. Thank you so much for watching. As the sky turns grey and it definitely is about to rain, I better head home, but thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate your time. Thanks for all the support on the channel so far. I love you lots. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.